Sure.
Yeah. My question is, yesterday Mr. Loh Teck Yang actually mentioned about PA, suggesting that perhaps it should be scrapped. He also went to say that public funds has actually been used to support the whole elections mechanism. So I don't know what's Chairman's response to this. And to the three candidates, I would assume that you would have friends that attach some kind of cynicism to PA or even NTUC. So what usually would be your response to them? Thanks.
I think Mr. Loh Teck Yang completely misunderstands the work of the People's Association. When the People's Association was set up just over 50 years ago, it was to help in the nation-building process. Recognizing that we are a diverse population of different races, different religions, even different dialects, and we, as a young nation, have got to bring people together and bond them to feel as one. That is the mission of PA. We have relooked at the PA's mission in the last 3 years. I've been involved in a process with the staff of People's Association and with grassroots leaders on asking ourselves whether the original objective of setting up PA is still valid. And we came to the conclusion that it still is. And so we refreshed the vision and mission. But at the heart of it all, what is it that PA and the grassroots organizations want to do? It is still to bring people together, to bond, and because we are diverse, to bridge communities. I ask PA staff and our grassroots leaders to ask themselves, what is the community you want to see for the efforts that you put in? What is the outcome that you want to see? And the outcome must be, we want a nation where different people from diverse backgrounds can feel as one, where neighbors are friends with one another so closely that helping each other becomes a matter of course. It's second nature to neighbors to help one another. That is the kind of community that we want to see. Are we there yet? The answer must be no. Although we have had 50 years of work, Singapore is a country where there's constant change. We have people changing their residences very regularly. In my own constituency of Jurong, I found that in the last 5 years, 20% of the residents moved out, which means that for those who remain, there are 20% who are actually new neighbors. So the work of our grassroots organizations to continue to organize activities and to facilitate this building of friendship and bonds among people is a never-ending one. And today we have the added task, I think, of integrating those who have decided to make Singapore their home. So it's a very important task, and it's got absolutely nothing to do with politics or supporting the PAP. The kind of community that we want is one, as I said, where people are friends with one another, the friendships that are so deep that helping each other is second nature. When that happens, then it is a country where we will all feel very secure, very safe, and very proud that this is Singapore.
Well, I will just add that, many years ago when we were implementing community policing, and I was personally very involved in it, we worked very closely with many of these organizations, and that one of the key reasons why crime in Singapore fell and why we were able to maintain our streets safe is this quality of care in our community. And I also see that PA organizes many activities for our elderly, for our young, and those are very meaningful things.
Thank you, Shobi, for the question. You've asked with regards to cynicism towards PA and perhaps even to NTUC as well. Having been a grassroots leader for the past decade, I've been involved in many activities and interacting with many residents who have come down for our events and benefited from a lot of the schemes that we've put in place. And many of them come back time after time. And even reaching out to new residents as well. They've also been involved in our floor parties, our block parties, so on and so forth. And that has helped to create a community that is strong, that is cohesive. One example that I would like to use is that some schools do community attachment as well. And very often when younger Singaporeans, whether they're from JC or from secondary school, and they come down to community attachment, they may have a certain view of what PA does or what the grassroots does. But very often as well, after they've been with us over the course of a month or 2 months, they see the difference that community leaders are making to their community. With regards to NTUC, I remember when I first joined as a staff member, and I told my friends, they said, "Oh, you work for FairPrice or you work for Income? What's the latest price of rice?" So I said, "No, I work for the trade unions." They said, "Oh, Singapore got trade unions." And of which I then had to explain that yes, there are over 60 trade unions in Singapore representing many different trades and industry. And having been involved over the past 5 years, and again working with all our volunteers, all our union leaders, they're not paid. They're on the ground every single day, making sure that their fellow workers are taken care of. And so to those who remain cynical about the work that both PA and NTUC does, I would think that the work that both organizations put up speak for themselves. Thank you.
It is interesting that you mentioned the PA and NTUC in the same breath, because my mother used to work for the PA and my father used to work for the NTUC. So I remember when I was young, I used to attend a lot of PA events, and I remember having a lot of fun. And these were like honest fun, cycling, playing badminton, or cooking classes. It was fun. As for the NTUC, I watched my father as I was growing up. I've seen him helping bus workers, taxi drivers, making a meaningful contribution to people's lives, and positively touching people's lives. So, I think these two are very viable institutions that still continue to play a very important part in our country's nation building. Thank you.